do you reflect on your time at Man United?
I love my time there. I don't think media helped me. I refused great working opportunities. The first one was even very, very hard to refuse because it was Portugal. I could be their coach in the national team. Also yours. I had it there on the table.
No way.
Yeah, I didn't because I gave everything. I gave my heart. I gave even options that could be considered not very clever by the professional point of view.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Do you even coach him?
I think you don't coach.
Jose, we need to know what is next. Welcome back to 5, Stephen Howson, Rio Ferdinand, and today we have got Jose Mourinho, the special one. We have got him exclusively. This is presented by football.com. This is part 1. There's going to be a few episodes. If you want the full audio, you can check the link in the description for the full audio download. In this part, we're going to be talking about AS Roma, what happened, and we're going to be talking about his entire career in this one. So let's check it out.
Jose, firstly, thank you very much for allowing us to come and speak to you here in rainy Lisbon.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I feel ashamed. It's an attack to our prestige.
I had sunglasses. I had suntan lotion.
I know. Me too. Me too. I come to Lisbon with this intention to. So.
Listen, I think there's only one place to kick off. I think the recent news, obviously, Roma, your departure there. I actually can't believe we're here sitting talking to you with that as the backdrop, because 2 back-to-back finals. The fans in the stadium full up. I could see it just from England looking in, how much the fans adored you there. What kind of happened and got us to here now?
Owner decision, and you have to respect. Don't even discuss. You know. Of course, I feel, and I believe that you feel the same as me, that the fans are always the heart of a football club. Without them, no football club. But there is an ownership. And when the owner decides, you have just respect.
Mm. Is that what, would you say that was one of the most painful kind of exits for you? Because it was so sudden?
I can say is the one that hurted me more. I can say that. You can ask me why. Because I gave everything. I gave my heart. I gave even some options that could be considered not very clever by the professional point of view. I refused great working opportunities. The first one was even very, very hard to refuse because it was Portugal, and Portugal with probably national team with probably the best national team ever. 3 years before a World Cup. Then I had a big one from Saudi. I didn't hide it at the time because was really big, and I did it for I don't say the first time, but normally I'm very pragmatic in my choices. I'm very professional in my choices. I try always to be very emotionally controlled, and you could see that, for example, when I left other clubs after winning finals and this kind of thing. And in this case, I was not pragmatic, I was emotional, I gave everything. So in the end, when I left I hurt it. I have the great feeling of I gave so much happiness to the people because 2 finals in 2 European finals in a row doesn't happen often, especially in a club like Roma without a big history of European success. And then I was walking in the street and the people take us to Dublin, take us to Dublin, take us to Dublin. And I had that Dublin in my mind. I had that 3rd European final in a row in my mind. But then you have to respect. The owner is always the owner, and you have to respect the decision, which is what I'm doing now.
Did you feel like you got your spark back at Roma? Because you look like you got your spark back at Roma.
I don't want to speak about Roma more than what we did, especially going into the intimacy of myself and the football club. I always felt this way. I always did it this way. It's not the first time I left the club. It's probably the first time I am feeling it in a different way. But I always felt that is the right way to do it. You know, you leave the club by your decision or by the club decision, and then you move on. You try to learn from the experience. You try to be better for the next one. But I don't like to dig in, and I don't even like to speak publicly about it.
Just, I want to talk about you as well. I think I played against your teams, always difficult to play against, always hard games.
It's still difficult.
But when I played personally, it was
but
always
you played against
Chelsea,
big rivals,
Porto.
and you play against teams with the same potential as yours, with the same ambition as your team. We were playing to win it, you were playing to win it. So let's say from strength to strength. I say that even when my team is not a top team, even when my team is not a team with more potential, it's always difficult to play against us. It's always difficult to play against us because we start always from the base that a team has to be a team. And then, of course, you have that by your experience. When you had the team with the best players is different than you have a team without the best players. But it's true. I feel exactly that way. And sometimes when I see football, when it's too easy for the better team to beat the team with less potential, I always ask myself why and how is it possible? Because I always feel that a team, even if it isn't a team with more potential, has to make it difficult. Because by organization, by tactical work, and by a very strong mentality, even if you are not a team with more potential, you still can do it. Not do it in the sense of winning titles, because to win titles you need, of course, a big potential. But to give you the feeling that you had to play against that guy is always difficult. I think has to be always difficult.
And part of the question is like that, creating those teams and help creating that culture within those teams. What's the difference between doing it maybe them years ago, the teams I played against, compared to the current type of generation of players now? What's the difference being able to create those cultures? Because it's new age now.
I think what you are speaking about different generations. I was going in the initial part of my answer. I was going more in the difference of potential. In the difference of potential, I think it creates also a different way of playing, and creates also a different way of approaching. I always say, you have to be arrogant on the pitch when your team is the best one. And you have to be more cautious when your team is not the best one. When your team is the best, you have to show your power. When your team is not the best, you have to hide or try to hide your problems, to try to create a balance. Going from generation to generation, I don't have the feeling of previous generations are better than now, or people of 20 years ago has a different approach to what people has now. I think in the end, the same ingredients are there. But of course, we can feel that looking just to you. It is a great podcast, isn't it?
I hope it is.
25 years ago, podcasts?
No.
No podcasts. So communication was very, very different. I feel that a journalist now, what is a journalist now? Do you know what I mean? What was a coach or a manager 25 years ago, what is now, is also difficult to compare. And in relation to the players, is also difficult to compare. There is an evolution in everything, and there is an evolution in terms of mentality. Years ago, probably I thought